Hey gamers, today I'm going to be breaking down each instance of Soulblaze generation and go in depth about each one and Soulblaze as a whole. Soulblaze is an interesting effect, existing only on Psyker as its form of DOT or damage over time. Except thinking about Soulblaze is a lot of effort. It gets kinda complex once you delve into it. Starting with talents, the skills that generate Soulblaze are Perilous Combustion, Wildfire, and Creeping Flames. There are other skills that make use of Soulblaze. They are Soul Drinker and In Fire Reborn. To add on to that, any talent, blessing, or perk that affects damage will also increase your Soulblaze damage. Blessings like Dum Dum can even do this. A more in-depth list of everything that will buff your Soulblaze damage will be shown later in the video. Now, I will break down the talents we are going to focus on. Let's start with Perilous Combustion. What an absolute banger of a perk. For a single point, if you already have Quietude or Soul Stealer, this is an absolute steal. I guarantee you, any match you take this, it will benefit you, even if your main goal isn't wreathing the entire horde into flame. Every time you kill a specialist or an elite, nearby enemies get 3 stacks of Soulblaze. While this might not seem impressive at the outset, its stat cap is 31. Meaning, if you already have a Soulblaze build, this is one of the few options that can get your stacks very high. So whether you are going for a basic build and are just grabbing the talent for some extra horde clear, or bringing it on your path of conflagration, this talent is amazing. Next we have Wildfire. This is definitely the weakest of the 3 talents that create Soulblaze. Upon killing an enemy with Soulblaze, it spreads to nearby targets. It is decently complex to explain why this talent is weak, but I will do my best. The stat cap from this talent ranges from 1 to 4 depending on how Wildfire is being procced. Example 1. Enemy A has 4 stacks. When he dies, enemy B, C, D, and E gain 1 stack. If you kill guy B, C, D, or E, all the stacks will remain at 1, unless the guy you are targeting gets more than 1 stack of Soulblaze. This is because when Wildfire procs when an enemy dies with Soulblaze, the stat cap is based on how many stacks they have, up to 4. Example 2. Guy A has 12 stacks. Guy B has 6 stacks. When Guy A or B dies, neither gain stacks. And since neither gain stacks, the duration of Soulblaze doesn't reset either, making Wildfire do nothing in this example. Hopefully that is all understandable. There are plenty of Reddit posts and forum posts that have examples or explanations if you need to read them as well. Though all this means is for most builds, this talent is practically worthless. The only times I will give this talent any credit is when using a Blaze Force Greatsword with Blazing Spirit, or maintaining ownership over stacks. This talent, until rebalanced, is generally a wasted node. Last of all the talents that generate Soulblaze, we have Creeping Flames. This is an excellent grab, especially for builds that already contain Soulblaze. When you use your Venting Shriek, this will bestow 1 to 6 stacks of Soulblaze, dependent on your current peril. Like Perilous Combustion, the stat cap for this talent is also 31, making it a really good synergy on builds with lots of Soulblaze. Using it on a build with no Soulblaze is useful, but definitely not maxing its potential. Either way, this is a very solid node that you can bring into any game and always feel its impact. Now, we move on to weapons. Psyker has 5 weapons that can generate Soulblaze, the obvious one being the Inferno Staff. Then, the Blaze Force Sword and Greatsword. Lastly, the Void Strike and Void Blast Staff. All of these weapons, besides the Inferno Staff, get their Soulblaze from the blessing Blazing Spirit. Blazing Spirit generates stacks of Soulblaze on critical hits. This makes each weapon have their own use case, some of which needs a very specified build to make it work. The starting simple, we have the Inferno Staff, with a stat cap of 15. This staff has a basic Gout of Fire on Mouse 1, good for roamer groups and light horde work. Meanwhile, holding down Mouse 2 for a bigger spout of flame to spread your Soulblaze across an entire horde. This staff lends itself to the Soulblaze playstyle, Stacking Soulblaze talents with it makes it exponentially stronger. Next, we are going to jump into the two Blaze Force swords. Their variation of Blazing Spirit generates 4 stacks of Soulblaze on a crit and has a max cap of 12 stacks. Both of the swords do spread this well with the correct build, even stacking it up very well against specialists and elites to make an easy kill. Last, we have the two Void Staffs. Both of these also have Blazing Spirit, except their cap is 6. Both staffs have good AoE so you can crit Soulblaze into an entire crowd. The Surge Staff is definitely much better for this, and I am working on a build with it in mind. Now that we have covered what can generate Soulblaze, we can talk about it as a whole, and make charts of the relevant information. Soulblaze can find its way into many builds, from the Inferno Staff to the humble Perilous Combustion Snag. For the most part, Soulblaze is going to be used as a tool for horde work. Outside of horde work, it can be used to weaken packs of elites and specialists. Stacked high enough, it could even clear Rager and Gunner packs all on its own. This can even extend to some Carapace enemies such as Scab Ragers and Maulers, but once you get to Crushers, it is quite ineffective. However, built into Soulblaze correctly, it can actually do even more for your gameplay. Stacking perks with damage buffs that affect Soulblaze is very important. As exponential as Soulblaze gets, this makes buffing it that much better. Now that I've done my ramble, I'm going to get into the Soulblaze overview. Stack cap. It is important to know all of your weapons and talents and what their stack cap is. This becomes more important when you have multiple instances of Soulblaze. For example, if your Inferno Staff gets enemies to 15 and you get a Perilous Combustion kill, they will go to 18, but not if it's the other way around. Here is a simple list of all the known stack caps that are accurate as of now. Ownership over stacks is very important. When you have ownership over your stacks, this makes all of your buffs affect the damage, versus when someone else has ownership. This can make Psychers have a rough time if one is going for a big Soulblaze build and the other dips into it. The Psyker with the lesser build can unfortunately claim ownership of the Soulblaze and make the former build less effective. This is one of the only reasons I could ever recommend Wildfire as a potential save in these scenarios. Damage buffs. There are many relevant ways to buff your Soulblaze damage. Here are them all. Hopefully this is a good synopsis of what Soulblaze is and most relevant information there is to know about it. That's about it for my Soulblaze explanation. There's plenty more nuance not covered here. This is just a basic guide for me to build off in the future. As always, thanks for watching and consider subscribing if you want more content like this. See you on Atoma, varlets.